Hey friends, Jay, Travel by Jay. We're here on our lovely podcast, Between Departures. Myself, Jay, and my beautiful co-host, my wife, Soraya.
Hi, everyone.
Alrighty, we're here coming back with you at our episode.
It's another Tuesday.
Another Tuesday, right? You call it Taco Tuesday, we're going to talk to you about Between Departures.
Well,
the things that we're doing to help you travel while we're here back waiting for our next vacation.
Right, exactly. So instead of Tuesdays with Maury, now we have Tuesdays with Jay.
Yeah, let's do that. And I'm good for a coffee or a cocktail, whatever is going to float your boat. Whatever, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right, folks? But we're coming to you today, and I think we were laughing about, mistakes that we've made while traveling or things that we've experienced. And even hearing some funny client stories.
Those are the really fun ones.
Right? And all of those things have helped us become better planners and better agents to serve our clients.
We will definitely omit names to
protect the innocent.
To protect the innocent. Or not so innocent, but
yeah.
In this case.
Sometimes people do things and it's kind of like,
well,
what?
We've done them too. We've made our own mistakes. It's just we're able to pivot very quickly.
Yeah, never missed a flight, never got lost, never overpacked, all these other things.
Oh, sure, okay, right.
So I mean, it's kind of funny that we laugh about that now, and I mean, we consider ourselves, veteran travelers. Meaning we have a little bit of experience.
More than me, but yeah.
I mean. So far, I still have Antarctic there, and Patrick, yes, we're gonna do that. 2027, bro.
Not with me.
2027, we're gonna do Antarctica because that is something on my bucket list, and when I do that, I will have touched all 7 continents.
Perfect.
And for me, that is my personal goal. People are like, why you want to do
That's
it?
wonderful.
Because I can, right?
Right. And I think that's wonderful. I will wait for you. I told you in Mendoza, Argentina, which is the wine country. And
okay, sounds good, right? So we sit there and we laugh. God knows, I know there's some stories I could tell you that is probably may really make you laugh. But one thing I always do for our clients is I try to build in travel dates for them, travel time. Account for days that's going to be useless,
right.
Whether you're flying out overnight or it's going to be a full 10 or 12 hours of travel day, to try to maximize their travel experience and minimize the impact of what the travel is. So we did have a client, they were going away for 2 special occasions, and they were traveling international. And the first portion just so happened to be a cruise. Perfect. And I was like, okay, so as an agent, I tell my clients, I'm like, okay, so if you're going to leave on a Thursday, what we're going to have you do is fly out on a Tuesday. And the reason being is because you're going to fly out, especially international. You're going to fly out overnight. You're going to get there the next day. And you need to have time to acclimate. Acclimate, give yourself the chance to be up. That way when you get on the ship, you're kind of up and running, right?
Right.
And, the worst thing is you have an extra day in another city that you may be you may be departing from, and you may not be coming back to it. You could leave Barcelona and end up in Venice, or Athens, anywhere. So you have some time in that first city to enjoy yourself. You have that time to enjoy yourself. So
most importantly,
right? So no, they didn't want to do that. He wanted to fly out the night before, get there the day of, and he's like, well, the ship's not leaving till 5. Our plane's going to get there at 8 in the morning. I got yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, bad idea. No, he's going to make it. So guy gives me a call. Once they land, they left late, by the way. They left so late that they actually arrived at the port 30 minutes before the gangway was pulling up and the ship was pulling out.
There you go. So in essence, that day was really a buffer
Yeah.
for the unexpected.
And so that was not even the worst part. So the worst part is because of the flights were delayed coming from the States and getting where they were changing planes and it was changing everything.
Yeah.
He and his significant other had no luggage.
Whoops. Nothing like going on a 7-day cruise with just one outfit, the one you've had on.
A 7-day cruise
48
on the
hours.
beginning of a 14-day vacation. You were departing one country and we're going to disembark in a different country.
Gotcha.
So, needless to say, he goes through his vacation. So it was good and bad for his wife because she was happy. She got a chance to go shopping. She was pissed because she didn't have her stuff.
There you go.
Right? And we always encourage people to take a day bag just in case your luggage gets delayed. Right? So he comes back from the vacation. He does say, hey, I had a great time. We adapted. We were able to get, supplies and clothes and stuff. And he's like, I'm still a little miffed. I'm like, why? So he has an air tag in his bag. And his bag was still in Athens.
There you go. Perfect.
2 weeks later.
This is a great reason why you put an air tag in your luggage, by the way, folks.
Lesson learned, things are done. And it was funny because when he called me, one of the many times he called me, and I'm trying to scramble and trying to help figure stuff out. His wife hears my comment was like, hey, this is why I build a day in. So things like this. So even if you're delayed in your flights, your luggage gets there. And if it gets there 24 hours after you, guess what? You have 24, 36, 48 hours for your luggage to catch up to you. And his wife was like, he tried to get you to do that and you were too cheap to do it. Yeah, so instead of $200 for a hotel, as a matter of fact, the hotel was only like $80.
Oh, yeah.
It was literally $80. And I don't know how much he had to spend to get all the supplies and clothing and it. But anyway, everything was probably reimbursable.
Again, there is a reason why you build
some
buffer time there. Especially if you're going to celebrate a special occasion, you don't want a very annoyed significant other next to you for 14 days.
Because I'm quite sure for the birthday and the anniversary, there was probably a beautiful dress with all the accessories to celebrate with everything.
Absolutely.
So I'm quite sure there was a lot of things that was going on, and there was a lot of things that probably wasn't going on. You know what I mean? Because by then I'd probably be in the doghouse.
Yeah, probably.
But anyway, that's one of the things, and that's why we try to tell you, and we do our best to build these things in your travel. But also,
I can remember a couple of instances when I had you on the phone. And again, this is why you want to hire or get a travel agent that really cares about your well-being and enjoying the trip. Because I guarantee you, any of the online services would have never have taken a phone call at, 5 o'clock in the morning. Or maybe they would have, but they wouldn't have done anything for you. So, I do remember other instances, like the couple you had that was traveling during COVID, and you told them specifically to take the, the COVID test. No. I want to sneeze. That's why I'm trying to control myself. The COVID test 24 hours before, and they took it 36 hours before. Of course, at that time, the airlines were not going to let you in. There's a method to the madness, folks.
We give specific in general, and we get very detailed instructions with certain things, especially during COVID. I do remember that.
Yeah.
And he calls and he says, hey, they won't take my test. I'm like, oh, did you go 24 hours? It was 36 hours. Well, they told you specifically, and I told you specifically, it's 24 hours. They told you where to go because the test has to be valid for that time during that situation. So, needless to say, they lost their flight, had to get bumped.
Yeah.
They rebooked, and they were actually upset because they didn't get a chance to get their first class.
Well, they were traveling in a pod.
They didn't get their first class
I would be
on
upset
every
too.
flight because it wasn't available. And when they got rescheduled and rebooked, we handled things accordingly.
Yeah.
And we were able to get them rebooked on another flight.
Right.
From there so they could enjoy their class. But everything,
Yeah, no, it didn't match up exactly.
It didn't match up. It trickled down.
So again, there's a reason why your travel agent gives you certain directions and, why you should follow them to a T.
Right. So another thing not to do is we had some clients that were meeting up. They were coming from two parts of the country and they were meeting up down, I want to say in Naples. They were going to the Amalfi Coast. And I had them lined up. Mm-hmm. One of the flights, unfortunately, had a layover for like 2 hours and a half or something like that. And I'm like, okay, we're good. We got time. He goes back. Mm-hmm. The client goes back. Right. Changes his flight because he didn't want to sit in the airport for 2 hours and he booked himself rebooked for a 55-minute layover.
Ooh, bad idea.
You didn't know.
We all know what happens.
You don't know how big the airport is, how busy the airport's going to be. And when you get on a plane and you're getting off, unless you're getting off first, how long does it take to unload a large plane?
Yes.
And then to get to wherever you need to, because you don't know if you're not familiar with an airport. And if you're traveling international, landing in places like, I tell you, we've transferred in Madrid, we've transferred in Barcelona recently, we've transferred in Frankfurt, Amsterdam, Zurich, all of these places. And let me tell you, those airports are ginormous. You don't know the terminal system. So we give ourselves at least 3 hours and then we end up with 45 minutes to an hour break.
Right. And that's done on purpose, again, because you don't know. First, you don't know if your plane is going to take off on time, especially now. And then you have to also give yourself time to get out there and navigate this different environment in a different culture. So there is a lot of that goes on, and then the client calls upset because, oh my gosh, I didn't make it, I missed my flight. And it's like, we tried to book you to be able to have that buffer, and you decided to rebook yourself in a 55-minute layover, which doesn't always work.
It doesn't work. I think one of the things that people do is a mistake that we've made tremendously, at some point, is overpacking, just like everybody else. We overpack. And when you overpack, you don't think that's you carrying in all that stuff. Pound for pound, it wears on you. Hotels, and you're trying to do whatever especially if you go from multiple places, right? Because you got to carry all this stuff. You got your backpack, you got another personal item, you got your carry-on, then you got your regular bag, then I got her bag. So you know what I mean? But you do that. You tend to overpack, and then you get to the airport, and you're like, what do you mean I'm 5 pounds over? Well, sir, you need to switch. So I did see an airport where they had a station behind that, close to the front counter, where you could put your suitcase, open it up, and repack things. But dude, come on, you're sitting there in front of everybody. You got your chonies up, probably people are looking and seeing what you're having.
Chonies, not your chonies.
You know what I mean? Well, people are sitting there seeing what you're looking at, what you're doing, and you're trying to reshuffle your the
unmentionables.
The unmentionables.
Absolutely. I have learned to not to overpack too much, because You have to leave room for shopping. Hello.
Yes.
You did.
Always.
I did learn that on our first trip to Florence. Oh my God, Florence has the most beautiful leather stuff you could possibly ever dream of. And yeah, I still have my leather jacket.
And she wondered why I was like, we both got a suitcase, and I said we're going to take a small bag, and she's like, well, why are we going to do this?
Yeah.
And I said, you'll see.
That's it.
And so we went, and God knows she was like, she understood why we almost had to buy an additional bag, but we stuffed everything in there. And she was like, I get it now. I said, so give yourself time and give yourself space.
That's it.
And if you're like me, when I go to places, I love to get the different spirits or wine from there. And
People are going to think you're an alcoholic.
No, because you don't think. You go get one bottle.
Yeah.
It's 8 to 9 pounds.
Oh, yeah. Easily.
Because the bottle's thicker, the liquid, and you don't realize the weight of it. You're like, oh, I got space for it. But do you have the weight for it? Now you're trying to figure it all out.
My favorite was the time we were in, where did we go? Was it Jamaica? We went in JetBlue. And then they rebooked us. Was it Dominican Republic? We went in JetBlue, and then for some reason, JetBlue actually moved our reservation to Spirit.
But they canceled the flight for JetBlue, and they put everybody just on a Spirit plane. Yeah.
So JetBlue has the weight limit to 50 pounds. Great, no problems, right? I was at 49.9. And but then JetBlue internationally only allows 40 pounds.
No, that was Spirit on the way back.
I'm sorry, Spirit on the way back only allows 40 pounds. Guess who had to pay for 10 pounds more?
We couldn't move it $135 or $140. And I was like, we came down here, you guys switched it. And she was telling me that she was trying to calm me down.
Yeah.
Because she said, Amanda, I've been left in the country. She said, you want to go back. You're starting to cause a scene. But I'm pissed because you guys rescheduled. You guys did that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, that was is it a mistake? No, because what we did. So the mistake is not checking everybody's guidelines.
Exactly. That's it.
So that tells us, so when we look at some of these airlines, and especially international, you'll fly out on American and then you'll come back on, Swiss Air, which is their partner, their international partner. Yeah. So the key is not realizing the airline's rules.
Yeah.
So the mistake is we assumed that all of these rules are going to be the same when in essence they're not.
Yeah.
They could be, but they're also an opportunity for.
I will say, ever since then, that is something that we do check
constantly. So
not just for us, but also for our clients.
Yeah. We don't want you to experience it because what if you already maxed that card out? You know what I mean? Because you've been all the beautiful shopping. Right. You know what I mean? But we want to make sure that everybody travels, and these are things that we've done or experienced or our clients have. So, I mean, some are funny stories, some are just, really annoying, because that annoyed out of me.
Right.
But, we did it. We got through it. I was still angry when we got back.
Just learning experiences.
Learning experiences.
I'm glad that it happened on the way back because that would have soured his whole vacation up. I would have
absolutely. And you know what? I had a bottle of champagne in there too. Yes. That was one of the things we had brought back, and it was 9 or 10 pounds. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? But that's okay.
Okay. Take notes. Make sure that you learn from other people's mistakes. This is why we share some of these things so that you guys can think outside the box.
Huh? So when we do give our clients tidbits or when we do our travel tip Thursday and we telling you some things, don't just think we're just pulling it out of the air.
No.
These
We've
things that
seen people do these things.
Yeah. Or ourselves. Not everybody has to touch the stove to know it's hot. Sometimes you got to learn from somebody else.
So there's plenty of things out there. There are reasons why we recommend certain things. I think that time buffer for me has been such a learning experience. Also, the downtime in between. Very important. Remember, you're going on vacation to relax, disconnect, help your mental health, and you should enjoy everything you're seeing and make time to stop and smell every pretty flower along the way, because that's what it's for. That's why you're paying for that vacation. That's why you've spent all this money. And just do things that you've never done before. That's all very important.
Yeah, all right. Well, a third thing, real quick, I know that I'll have to say it's not we, it's me. It's something that I assumed that when we were traveling that the hotel went to Europe was actually going to provide the particular plug that I needed. And when you go to these different plugs, you go to these different countries, all European places are not alike.
They're not.
Even if a lot of them are, but when you go to a place, there's a difference between like London and Ireland. Ireland is kind of like their own little special place.
Yeah.
But I did.
But the prongs are different. That's what it is.
You realize, because some of them are round, and then you're like Italy, they're round, and then you have the ones with the flat things. So I went there, and I assumed that I was going to get that they were going to. I'm an American. It's an American hotel based for tourists, that they're going to provide those plugs for me. Nope. They didn't even have them in the store down there or whatever the place. I ended up thank God,
You didn't use the blow dryer, did you?
I didn't use the blow dryer because I'm just going to say somebody used the blow dryer and trying to jury rig stuff. I'm going to call it jury rig. She just would say I was just using it my way. You know what I mean?
I did not.
Yeah, but the funny part is she's like, oh my God, this works so well that my blower's getting hot, but my hair got dry real quick.
The voltage, the outlet, the electricity outlet there is so much more powerful. And my little blow dryer just could not handle that for sure.
I think I can. Chugga.
Nope. Actually, I think where my blow dryer tanked was in Berlin. What's in Berlin? It was actually in Germany.
Oh my God.
I was like, well, here we
took
go.
his last little breath. That's okay.
Hair au naturel.
Hey, you were beautiful after that. You had curly hair moving forward. It was okay. I was good with it. Because the hair dryers there are not as strong as at least the places we were. I mean,
I didn't have a blow dryer.
Right.
That's it. It was
so I'll throw you a little tidbit tip. Should I give him the tip?
Well, absolutely.
So now we have, I guess I want to call them travel blow dryers, but
we do have those.
We know the countries that we go to and we will frequent more often. It's like, hey, and we stole this idea from our friend Lori, where you go and you buy the blow dryer from there in that country that you're in. You don't have to worry about it. It works well. You do whatever, and all you have to do is just pack it in your bag. You don't go out and buy the big one with like 10 attachments.
In all fairness,
you just buy a decent one.
Yeah, but in all fairness, it's not like we buy a blow dryer for every country.
God knows, because you know what? Then we're gonna revert back to that overpacking.
Yeah, no, that's not working.
But that's not the case.
No.
Now we have some fun. I mean, those are the things that we've done. And it was just
think about it.
It was just kind of learning on the fly, where we like, this should work, and you know what? The optimal word is should, but
doesn't always.
As much as we do crazy stuff, I can say that we usually sit back and honestly And for a while, we were like, what's going to be our adventure for this adventure? Because it's generally one thing that it's great that things run exactly how it should, and we love that. But generally, there are some times where, we're kind of like, it's not a hiccup or anything.
Perfect.
It's just something what's different than what we thought, what we thought was going to occur. And because we do have the plans in place, or what's going to happen if when, everything generally turns out great. I mean
that's just with everything though.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just life.
Exactly.
That's just lifing. That's it.
I plan a 20-minute drive, but guess what? Something's going to happen. I'm going to be there in 23 minutes. Well, if you give yourself 25, you're still going to be on time.
Right.
So, those are the kind of things that we do. And I would say that you have to find that amazing travel partner that you get along with. And that when those things do go bump in the night, you're not afraid. You just grab over, hold your hand. You look at him, he's like, we got this, babe. We got this. Babe, we got this. I'm gonna run down and find you a blow dryer.
You find me a blow dryer.
Yeah. So, you know what, guys? We want to thank you. Don't keep us a little secret. Don't keep us making it a little secret.
No.
Like, share, comment. We do these things, and I hope that we get better and better. But I do hope that we bring you information that is useful.
Something you may not have thought of before.
Right, and the tidbits, and hopefully our stories do maybe bring a little chuckle there.
Of course.
That's just who we are, That's why we just do things how we do things. And you know what? We live our best life.
How do
today.
we do things?
I don't know. We do things because we just do them. All right? That's what I say. So,
well, with that being said,
travel safe,
travel often, travel by day.